Hello and welcome to part 2 of me doing my favorite thing, going through giant bags of what could be junk, but what could be treasure too. This is actually a part 2. This bag is what I started going through in my first video, where it's all watches and watch parts, just kind of miscellaneous. I'm not sure what all is in here. And from that video, we did actually find, that last video, we found 2 working watches that I later discovered are actually from 1922 and 1924, I believe. So that was pretty amazing, and I'm ready to dive back into this bag and see if there's anything else that cool in here. So as always, I'm Emily Rose. I run Shop Rose's Attic on Etsy. We're also on TikTok, YouTube, of course, and Instagram, making videos like this and other kind of behind the scenes of running a vintage shop. And today, like all days, we're digging through this bag in the hopes of finding something that someone can still use or might still want that I can put on my storefront. So if you saw the first or second videos, and anything caught your eye, do make sure you check the shop link in the description, because it might be available now. But let's dig into this here. Oh, I'm going about this a whole different way. I'm getting overexcited. Let me actually not dump everything out. Start with this. What is this one? This says, let's see, Harvester. I don't know if I've ever seen a Harvester brand. Unbreakable mainspring, it says. Well, it is missing the crown, so that won't be working for us today, but I might look at that brand and see if it's a notable one, or it'll end up in a lot with all the other Broken Ladies watches I find, which is growing from these videos. Bit of a broken Kingsway band, nothing too crazy. Another broken watch band of some sort. These I am gonna put in a big lot and just sell for parts, essentially, or for crafting. This looks like some kind of spring or part, maybe just based on its size, maybe something that was meant to be in a pocket watch, or something that would have been much tighter and now is sprung loose. This is just gonna go in kind of a miscellaneous watch area, along with this little bit of watch glass, gear. So this one, it says Le Baron on it. It looks like a little padlock. That's pretty cute. I don't know if this would have gone on like a purse or what. It definitely isn't a wristwatch. It does look like it's missing the back and a battery, so I'm not gonna even try to like set it or anything today. But that is pretty neat. I'll have to look up this brand and see what that was meant to be. Let's see. Oh, here is another watch, Bendix. It does look like the face is missing and 2 of the hands are missing and the crown's missing, so I'm not gonna be able to even test that. But again, for parts or for crafting, somebody may want that in some kind of lot later. Ooh, oh gosh, I'm pulling out a lot of things with me. This looks like the inside of a watch. I keep seeing these. I think that they're when like the movement sits within the case. It has this cushioning, and this is just part of a movement of a watch. I'm not sure. It doesn't say which one. It just says 17 jewels on it. This is Bulova. Let's see. Has M7 on the back. Believe M was 1960s. I would have to double check what that date was. But let's see if it winds. I'm going to set the time to midnight. And in fact, I just saw that tick. Is this a self wind? Doesn't say it is. But let's give it a couple twists if we can. Maybe. Oh! And look at that. You can see the second hand, even just from that, is already working again. So that's wonderful. I'll let you hear it. Can you hear the ticking? You may have to turn the sound up to hear the ticking. Sometimes it shows, sometimes it doesn't. But that is pretty neat. It is very dirty, but I can clean it up. And I mean, hey, if it works, maybe it would become somebody's project watch. It has the date as well. I'll need to test that that works. That's pretty neat. I'll have to put that in the winners section. We'll keep that one right there. This is an odd little shape. It looks like, can I even read? Sheffield, maybe? Is what that says. This does not want to wind at all. I don't think I can even pull it out too. I don't think I can even set the time with that. It winds one way, but that's not the way it would go if it was still working. I can't even set the time. But that's an interesting little watch face. I don't know if that would just be more modern or if this would be really old. It just is so, something about how thick this is really strange to me. How it's set into this sort of frame-like face. It's interesting. I don't know about all that. Let's see. This one says, what does that say? Lucerne, something kind of French and with an L, if you can read that. Sometimes it's hard to get the camera to focus on these little things with the bright light. It says Swiss, unbreakable mainspring again. Whether that's still true, who knows. I'm gonna set it and see if I can wind it. So something I noticed immediately is it doesn't want to set exactly to midnight, or at least where midnight should be. It's a little off center, which is not always great. So let me see. I'm not hearing it ticking at all when I wind it. I'm going to give it a little bit more of a go. Yeah, I would say that's not still working. It's kind of got an interesting face to it. Almost looks like a compass. But I'll have to go in the section with the ladies' watches over here. It's just part of a case. Ooh, there's a lot going on in this one. What is this thing sitting within each other? Another part of a case. Even more case parts. This one says it's rolled gold, so again, I'm going to put that all in a lot for either scrap or I'm not sure. This, I don't think any of these parts are actually related. This is part of a movement, just a random gear and another part of a case. It's real mixed up in here. I'm trying to keep everything kind of separated. Save me some time later. This is another broken band. Looks like it was faux leather. This is kind of the level of yucky a lot of these bands I find are. Or, oh gosh, you can see it's getting all over my desk. I do clean everything before I list it. But just because they've been in storage so long, and if you think, if you think most people, an average person may have one watch they wear every single day, in a time before cell phones when you need to have a way to check the time. If you're not cleaning this watch is going through everything you're going through in your day with you. And it's getting, dirt and dust, and I won't even elaborate what else, stuck in between these little bands. So it gets pretty funky. It does seem like this one's otherwise all together. So Who knows? Who knows? It'll probably just end up in the lot with the rest of them. But if you'd like to see me do a video cleaning these things, some of these things like this I would clean off, but it's never gonna look brand new again. But if that would be interesting to you, even just from like standpoint of something to relax and fall asleep to, let me know in the comments, because I definitely would. I just would have to plan for it. It's another case with no markings in it or anything, just another part of a case. But with things like this, at least, that are so dirty, it is very satisfying when I start to clean it. This looks like it was the casing for an Accutron. Where that Accutron is, who knows? For a Bulova Accutron. So now it's just parts. This is an empty case with a face just jingling around on the inside. It's Bulova. That'll just put again with the parts, since there's no movement in it. Oh, this says it's an Accutron. It's part of the case is broken. You see this? One of the places where you link in the strap has been broken off. I've never seen an Accutron that looks quite like this. The outside is very corroded, but Accutrons generally, that is a name I look for, the Bulova Accutron. Let me see if I can set the date. This watch may not be working even enough to set the date. It looks like, I mean, I'm turning that and nothing's happening. Which, oh, that's changing. Oh, that is changing. If you can see that, the date, like the day on the calendar that's on the watch. So maybe one more push in. I would have to see. I don't know if I need to pull it out more to change the time or to push it in more. I don't want to do too much damage to it. It seems like these are normally battery powered. I don't think this would just start ticking. In fact, we could open it up. I don't know why I didn't already have this behind me. This handy dandy watch knife. Let's see. Yeah, that's too corroded to try to get the back off, at least with the wash knife, while trying to be safe about it. I do see, you can see this was worn a lot just by the amount of dirt that's coming off of it. But I can see where the edge is. I just don't have the ability to take it apart yet. I might try to get this to work more later when it's a little cleaned up, but I don't think it will. I would be essentially selling this for what's inside it, for parts or for someone's project. It's a fun little shape though. It's another one that's kind of looks different. This one is still the winner, although it's getting covered in everybody else's dirt. Let's see. Trying to pull things out random. Another part of a case, a little women's watch case. That pile's starting to grow big. Another part of a movement. This one has some fun engraving on it. I can't tell what brand that would have been. Has a serial number, but it doesn't have a name. And this one is also a movement. It's more complete, but not entirely. Looks like it says Hain Watch Company, which I've not heard of. So those are really for parts, or more likely for craft, steampunk jewelry, whatever somebody wants to turn it into. Somebody commented on one of my last videos that they do sculptures with the watch parts. So for uses like that, that might have a new life. Someone says Lucerne. Again, I think we had one of those earlier because I didn't know how to pronounce it earlier either. The time sets, it is missing the glass on the face, so I really doubt it'll work. And it doesn't want to turn. Not ticking at all. So I'll just go with the other women's faces at this point. See, another part of a case. This is another Bulova, another rolled gold. Doesn't say Accutron, just says Bulova L8. Now, is L the 60s? I'm starting to lose track of what Bulova stamps mean what. I found some that are fairly old, but once there's a letter in front of the number on the date stamp, you know, you're looking at 50s, 60s, 70s, beyond. This is just the actual face of the watch. This is Crestwood. It's pretty beaten up, but again, some kind of piece of art. Maybe that'll have a use in the future. Another back, another Bulova back. The ends are for sure 70, so this would have been to a 1977 watch. Who knows where that watch is? Maybe in a landfill somewhere else by now. Another little piece of watch link. Another partial movement. This one does not say what it is. Has a little gear sticking out of it though. You can see this other side is where the face sits on top, and then this is what turns the actual hands of the watch, and this gear interacting with what else should be back here. Let's see. Random. Lots of random, actually. What is this? Just the claspy part of a watch band. Again, now just kind of scrap. This is strange to me. It's a piece of paper with something scratched on it and a little piece of plastic, but I think this is just trash. For a second I wondered if this was some kind of part, because I do have like watchmakers in watchmaker packaging parts, but this does not look like that. I just think this was cut off something else. I'm hoping. I'm throwing it away. No idea what this is. This looks like, this is almost a ring or a key ring, but it has this odd little hook on it and a lot of looks like it's something that you have to like bend and snap in place. What does that say? Anson, maybe? I can't really read that name on it. Not really sure what that would go to. Doesn't go to a whole lot at the moment, it looks like. Another part of a band. Another part of a movement. This would be for a pocket watch. No writing on it other than it says 7 jewels. Let's see what else we have. This looks very old. It doesn't say the date, or excuse me, it doesn't say the maker on the front of the watch. An old lady's watch. It does look like it has some kind of like, can't tell if that's metal or if it has like a little chip, itty bitty chip diamond. Nice little bezel. Looks very dirty. I'm gonna actually try to open up the back to see if it says what brand this is. And even there, the case says it's Timex. And there's not a lot of information on the inside that says anything else. So I don't know. Looks a little crusty, doesn't it? It's a very, again, probably was a well-loved watch when it was used. It doesn't want to move at all to even set the time. Not going to push that. That's just going to end up in a lot along with the rest. Frito-Lay casing. Bulova casing. This is a Buren without the rest of it. It's just the movement sitting in the back of the case. It doesn't have the little stem or the crown to try to wind it, and it's missing a hand. So I'm not sure what I can do with that. Again, that probably turns into a art project at that point. Let's see. As we get closer to the bottom here. A little rapid fire. Another back. Another movement. This one's got some engraving on it. It says Langdendorf watch company. It looks very old, very rusted out. Very big. Let's see this one. That one might actually be a pocket watch. Another partial movement, doesn't say what it is on it. Another little part of the movement. A big old gear. Some piece of plastic that would have probably gone inside a watch. Probably one with a battery in it. So this is probably modern. I'll probably just throw this away rather than include it in a lot. Let's see. Alphenaus. Again, just part of a movement. It doesn't have even half of what it needs to work. Another partial. This one has some stamps I don't recognize. I'm not sure what brand. Just another little movement. Lots of gears. Lots of big old gears happening. Broken watch glass. Another one with the gear. Another anonymous part. Another case. Let's see. Let's pull out a handful. There's a lot in here still. This New York Standard Watch Co. It's a part, but it's engraved. If you can see the little waves on it, it's pretty. That's probably a pocket watch. Face of a Clinton 21. Shock protected. I don't know if this would protect you from a shock anymore. That's cute. Little watch face. Ooh. Gears. And more gears. And more gears. This one is a little Timex. Let's see. CHR plated bezel. I would think that's chromium. Let's see. The time sets just fine, but it's doesn't want to turn it all to wind it. So that one's broken as far as I'm concerned. Let's see another one that this one is Criterion. Not the movie people, the watch people. This has no hands, and I don't think it would turn for me anyway, so that's, again, just added to the pile. This is more just the movement. This is a Lady Nelson. And I don't think this one, well, it's letting me set it. Of course, I can't just sell this as if it's a working watch. But to see if the movement is still good on the inside. It won't let me turn it, though, any further. So that one's overwound, too. It looks like it's also half in, half out of this case. And then this is empty and missing its lid. This is normally what you'd buy watch parts, or I find watch parts all the time that are in these little containers. This one has no top and no part, so that's gonna go into the garbage. And this one, let's see, it says 907, bunch of other information. Maybe it says on the inside. Not sure what, that might be Elgin. I'm not sure what brand of part that is, if that indicates the brand. There is a part in there though at the very bottom, if you can see that. So I would probably eventually list this. I would just need to look up and find out the information of what that is and make sure that all of it's there before I post it. Everything is spilling out. There's so much up here. Let's see. Scoot down a little. Another Lucerne or Lucerne. Like I've never seen that name before today, and now this is the third one. It doesn't... It says it's close to midnight. I think it's just about there. It's wanting to wind, but whether that means it'll turn on or it'll start ticking is a whole other thing. I don't think I hear that ticking, but it wants to wind as if it's in there. Oh. Yeah, that is ticking now. I'm not really familiar with this brand enough to know anything about it or to be able to tell you when this is from. I'll have to do some research. But that one's ticking. We'll put it down here. See if it keeps ticking. You can see this Bulova. It's been about 25 minutes. It's almost at 25 minutes. It's still going around. It's pretty fun. So those are the two we found today that are working properly. Another part of the case. We're almost down to the bottom of it. Let's see. Grab another handful because it's just lots of tiny parts. Another part of a watch. Stainless steel, or part of a watch band, excuse me. Another gear. More and more gears and tiny pieces. Let's see, movement parts. This one's Bulova. More internal parts. Random, not sure what this is. I wonder if this, so all these pieces came, if you didn't see the first video, all of this came to me, and it was originally from a watch repair shop or something to that extent. I wonder if this is a part to try to wind a watch that doesn't have a dial. I might see if it fits in here. I don't think that does anything. I'm not gonna really try it. This is trash for me. I just am, anytime I see any random piece of wire, I try to think to myself, what could this have been? This is my way of coping with the fact that they stab me all the time. I figure maybe if they have a purpose, I'll be less wary of them, less disturbed by their presence. This is another random part. Random, I think that's the hairspring. It's all bent up. That probably will just go to the trash because I can't imagine you can reuse that. Another gear, another little bit of link for a watch band. Almost to the bottom here. This will be a shorter video than the last one for sure. Oh gosh, now I've just pulled everything out. Let's see, gears, more gears, movements and gears and movements. Oh my. This is another part. Lots of, ooh, okay. Lots of just metal bits and bobs here at the bottom. As I get to the bottom, it's always smaller and smaller pieces. Another empty case for what looks like was Timex at one point. And this, another case with either rhinestones or chipped diamonds. Can't quite read that name, and there's no crown on this stem over here for me to turn it. It almost looks like Bulova, but it's not. Wonder if I can bust open the back. Not bust open, pop it open. Maybe, maybe not. Definitely should be able to. There we are. Let's see. Ooh. No, I still can't read it. It looks something about this material this is set in is odd. It's either like wood or shell, or it was burned. I don't know what's going on. It's very wavy. I don't know if you can see that. It's very strange. Maybe it was leather at some point. I don't know. I also don't know. I don't think I can get this out of this back case without damaging it further. I'm just not sure what that says. I think it says I can't even try. I think it says Bolivia. But it's not Bolivia, it's Bolivia or something like that. Very strange. I don't know. I've never seen a watch quite like that. It genuinely looks like either it was like leather that warped, or it was on fire, had some kind of heat to it. It's just looks kind of melty. It's strange. Find a little bit of this bag, and it's all going to be tiny bits. And looks like more glass, more. The rest of this is all just gears and things like that. So these are the two winners for today. These are the two winners. It's a Bulova and a Lucerne. I'm still not sure how you pronounce that. I'll have to look into these and see how old they are. Clean them up a little bit, of course, and then they should be going up on the shop. The rest of all of this is eventually going to be in different lots, either by the ounce or by the bag. I'm not really sure how I'm going to break it up yet, but these will also go up as parts in the future, just not as fast as these will come onto the store. Thank you so much for following along with me today. Again, it's Shop Rose's Attic on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and most importantly, Etsy. If you had any interest in the two working watches that we found today, you would be looking on that Etsy for those there. But that's the end of the bag. We finally did it. I think in the end, with the two sessions combined, it was maybe an hour and a half of sorting through. We're at the bottom. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Please hit like and subscribe and comment and let me know if you'd be interested in any watch cleaning videos, if there's any other kind of vintage jewelry, buttons, anything you'd be interested in seeing me go through. Really, any of your thoughts. It helps out a lot. It encourages me to keep going. So thank you so much. Goodbye.